Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. Let's play Alley of Blood.
So I'll be honest, I wasn't actually going to cover Alley of Blood. I played it on the first day that it launched in game and I had a really hard time with the matchmaking. I just kept getting put against Barbarians and Crusaders, obviously crazy immunity and crazy strong skills. Even though the classes and levels and everything are meant to be balanced in Alley of Blood, I could still feel the difference with fighting against Barbarians basically. And with the Crusaders, they just had so much immunity and then we're obviously giving immunity to their team. I was also finding that it wasn't very balanced with regards to the classes on each team. So for one match, for example, I was against 2 Barbarians and a Crusader and a Tempest. What are you even meant to do against that? And then I was with like one other wizard and I think a necromancer or something. Basically, the matchmaking for it was kind of a mess to begin with. So I'm playing this on the last day. So today is the last day for Alley of Blood. For this, I'm using my Shadow War build because obviously the concept of Alley of Blood, the way the map is and everything is the same as Shadow War. And my Shadow War build seems to work pretty well for me. So I thought I would go with that for this just to see if it still works well in Alley of Blood. Now, unfortunately for the enemy team, one of their teammates did just ditch them. And I find this happens quite a lot in Alley as well, which is also super annoying, just having teammates just quit on you at the last second. But this match, you can see, was over pretty quickly. I did feel a bit bad killing this person here, but I hadn't had any kills for the match, so I wanted to get one in. So sorry if you're watching and if I killed you like that. But yeah, that was a victory for our team. As you saw, super easy match. And playing on the last day, you have less people playing as well, but you can see they did have someone ditch them, like I mentioned, so that really, really sucks for them. So what I've been finding does work well against Barbarians and Crusaders is the Stone Hex skill for Alley of Blood. So I've been going with that one. Now, there was a bit of a bug in this game. You can see there's 3 of us on each team. However, there was this random person with us here. And yeah, they were just in the matchmaking with us. So there should have been 4 of us on this team. But for some reason, this random person was just not put onto the team. I couldn't suggest them to raid. Not really sure what happened there. I did request raid lead after entering the match after a few moments, but they declined my request because I thought maybe if I'm raid leader, I might be able to invite them. But yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what happened there. I wasn't really sure how to go about sorting it out. But yeah, really, really odd that this person was put with us and not actually on the team. And this is when I realized it was a real bug because they couldn't actually get through that barrier. So they were stuck at spawn and I couldn't do anything. This is when I requested raid lead, as I said. They did decline my raid lead request, so I couldn't actually help that player to fight with us, which again, super annoying. I don't really know. I've never seen that bug before in Alley of Blood. Maybe it's because of the new patch, I don't know. But yeah, the Stone Hex skill seemed to work pretty well. I'm also using the Frost Field and obviously the Scorch with the Electric Orb as well. So that does seem to work as a nice combination in Alley of Blood. And unfortunately, we get told what skills to use specifically for Shadow War. But Stone Hex seems to actually be quite a good one. And I'd be interested to try that out in Shadow War at some point if I'm given the chance to do so. But yeah, this worked really well, as I mentioned, against Crusaders, Barbarians, any of the classes that you seem to have trouble with. Tempest, again, another one that can be really tricky to defeat in Alley of Blood because they're pretty strong, they're pretty OP as a class in general at the moment. So let's see how the rest of this match goes and hope for another win. So this is a perfect example of why I use this combination. It took that player down really nicely. Kind of you throw the orb, freeze them, and then you fire Disintegrate at them as well. And as I said, this is the same build that I use in Shadow War, but you don't always get to see it up close because obviously the teams are much larger. So it's quite nice to actually be able to see this in reality and see how it works. Here, unfortunately, I did die, and I did, for some reason, launch my orb in the complete opposite direction to where I wanted to go. So let's continue with the match now and see if we can push any further.
An ally has struck down an enemy.
require aid.
Halfway to victory.
Now this was quite unfortunate because I teleported forward in the hope that I'd get some shards from the tower that we took down, but I ended up just facing their whole team at once. Basically, everyone seemed to have spawned at the same time. But yeah, I took a lot of damage from attempting to do that. Thankfully, the healing pool was still there and I managed to grab some health orbs and continue. But yeah, that was not fun having like several of the enemy team hit you at once. So taking down this second tower now, hopefully I can get some of these shards this time. And unfortunately, I fell straight into those attacks again right before we took the tower down. So now I've got to wait for the resurrect to happen. So I'll let you watch a couple of my teammates while I do that. Also, apologies for the lack of music in this game mode. I'm not entirely sure why it does it, but there's sometimes a bug with this game where if I have to minimize the app for any reason, for example, turning on my screen recorder, it then removes the game music, so there's no music at all. It happens in Westmarch as well. Sometimes I'm standing in Westmarch and if I minimize the game for any reason, I find that I then don't have any music when I come back in. Not entirely sure why that is, but I guess it's just one of those things. So yeah, kind of annoying. But yeah, sorry that we don't have any background music for this. Now here we've already got to the Crystal Heart. My teammates are just kind of waiting back because obviously we don't have one of our Guardians fighting. And if the Guardian isn't fighting the Heart, you will actually take hits from the attack. Here, really close to dying again. Let's just try and bandage quickly. I don't want to die another time, especially when we're so close to actually winning this now as well. So we'll just take down their Guardian. They have two of them here. I didn't even notice that two had come through, but and then we've got two going forward as well. So hopefully we can end this match and have another win before we take too much damage from the other guys again. Now, my one grievance still with Alley of Blood is not having those additional gear slots, so you don't have your alternate main hand or alternate offhand, and that is why my primary attack here is so pathetic. It basically does no damage and it's also super slow because I don't have those slots available to stack anything into that. However, it was a win for our team, and this was the overall result. So Rizla on my team, they were with me for every single match. But unfortunately, in this last match, I did have to face off against them, and they were super strong. They were MVP, I think, for every match that I played with them. Now, for this match, it was super frustrating. The two people on the bottom of our team list there decided to ditch us. So shout out to you guys. I hope that you have a really great day. But yeah, this guy Yarracone stayed with me, so it was 2 against 4 for this match. Don't really know why the other two ditched. It was just super frustrating. Like, don't bother entering these matches if you're not actually going to play it. Just like, yeah, really pissed me off, to be honest, because I only needed one more win for one of the event rewards. And I didn't have time to play this again today. I've just had too much other stuff on. Here I was trying to single out this player, but I chose the wrong person because it was a Necromancer and they were using the build that I use in PvP, which is super strong. And you can see here I've got quite a long wait to be resurrected again. But my teammate again just kept fighting. Now I wanted to message them in game and say like thanks for sticking with me for the match. However, I have another bug in game since the additional update this morning, and I now can't message players unless they're on my friends list. So let me know if you're having any issues like this as well. I'd be interested to know if it's just me. I know that a couple of other friends, their player chats have also disappeared, which is what I've had. And every time they log in, their player chat has basically completely disappeared again. So it's obviously some issue with the additional update that went live this morning. The update that went live, if you did have to update your game again, it was to do with towers. There was something that was missing for the update with that, or something that wasn't quite right with that. But yeah, you can see, unfortunately, in this part of the match, basically our Crystal Heart's just going to get destroyed now. I've got too long to wait to be resurrected. My teammate is on their own, as it was just the two of us, and unfortunately, just like that, it was a loss for us. So that was it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to know the build, just check out my Shadow War build and remove the last 2 essences on the main hand and offhand. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.